Hello everybody and welcome to the second video of STG Math. I hope that everybody enjoyed the first one and I hope you're going to enjoy this one too. So as you can see, today we are learning about scientific notation, which is something that I love. So scientific notation can be really confusing for a lot of people, but hopefully by watching this video you're going to get an understanding. Because like when I look at scientific notation, well the first time I looked at scientific notation I was like, what is all these numbers and why is there a number on top of another number? But don't worry, we're going to figure it out. So first off, to help you understand, let's figure out what scientific notation is not. It's not that. And it's not that. And it's also not... Hi, how did you get in here? I guess he can do what he wants. He's a celebrity. But anyways, the point is scientific notation isn't a note from science, and it isn't a note about science. So you might be wondering, why is it even called scientific notation then? Because it has a lot to do with numbers, and the last time I checked, numbers have a lot to do with math. So to explain what that's all about, I'm going to have to tell you what scientific notation is. As you can see on the screen here, it's really just an easy way to write really big or really small numbers. And you might be thinking, easy? From what I know of scientific notation, it's not easy at all. And maybe you don't know anything about scientific notation, you're like, well, it doesn't look easy, or maybe you just really don't care. Anyways, the point is, using scientific notation is a lot easier than writing numbers like this. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 7. Numbers like this are used a lot in science for like finding the size of microbiotic life or percentages of populations. And also, if you're a scientist, you're going to run into a lot of numbers like this. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you're going to have a lot of numbers like this, and trust me, if you were a scientist, which I'm not, but I'm pretty sure if you're a scientist, you don't want to sit writing words like this, putting them into your calculator, laptops, writing them down on lab reports. That's just going to take forever, so that's why it's called scientific notation, because it was made by scientists to condense really big and really small numbers like this. So how do you read scientific notation and start thinking like a scientist? Well, I am glad you asked. So I'm putting a bit of scientific notation up here on our screen. Well, I guess both of our screens actually. So first of all, when you're writing scientific notation, the first thing you're going to look at is the first part of the problem. Rocket science, right? Crazy. Looking at the first part of the problem first. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So normally this number is going to be a decimal, but sometimes it's not. It's just going to be like a 3 or a 4 or a 5. But today it is a decimal, and I'm going to explain why when we do this. So, but you're going to want to write out this number, except for this time without the decimal points. So 324, and you see this 5 up here, that means we're going to want to go back from the number where the decimal point is, and we're going to want to go back all the spaces that are allotted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you've learned probably since kindergarten, 0 is a space filler. So that's what we're going to do right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. And we have just... So that's pretty much how you read scientific notation. It's not as hard when you go into it like that. So we're going to do another practice problem. 5.34 times 10 to the power of 6. So I'm going to give you guys a second to do this one on your own. Okay, so hopefully you guys figured that out. But if you decided to just watch the video, then I'm going to explain how to do it. And if you did it on your own, hopefully you guys are going to see how to get the right answer. Well, hopefully you already got the right answer. Anyways, the point is, let's just do the problem. Okay, so 5, 3, 4. Remember, no decimal this time. We got to cross that dude out. So, and then we're going to go back to the allotted number of spaces after this decimal point that isn't there anymore. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just so you guys know, you don't have to do the counting or even the bumps, but that's just something I do to help myself remember, because just counting them back in your head can sometimes get a little bit confusing. So let's add in our space fillers here, 0, 0, 0. And there we go. We have just written out this commas here. We have just written out 5,340,000. There you go. And less, well, I don't, well, yeah. Anyway, so you get the idea. And in numbers like this, you're saying, well, I'm not really saving that many characters by doing this. But when you get to those really big numbers, like we talked about back here, trust me, it's a lot easier to use that. Okay, so then you're thinking, how do I write in scientific notation? Well, the cool thing is, if you watched this part of the video, which I hope you did, otherwise you get some really good skipping skills. The point is, if you watch that part of the video, you're already going to know most of this stuff. It's just doing it in reverse. So, let's say you got 300. And you want to convert this number, you want to pack it up. Well, really, when you're putting it in scientific notation for a number like 300, it's not really worth it. But as an easy example, for you guys, we're just going to use 300. So you're going to want to pack it up and put it in the little scientific notation box. So, remember, we are going to put a decimal point behind actually our very first number, and you're going to want to count back how many spaces. We see there are no other numbers that aren't zeros, so we're going to go 1, 2. So this is pretty easy. 3 times 10 to the power of 2. Okay, and here's something else really important to help you guys with scientific notation. So let's say you get a number like 36500. Okay, so 36,500. So are you going to write 36,500 times 10 to the power of 4? No. What you're going to do is you're just going to put that decimal point right there. In case you guys forgot, you put that decimal point right there. It's pretty important. Only one dot, but your teacher may mark off like your whole grade for that sort of thing. Just so you know. Okay. So, and there we go. I mean, that's how you write in scientific notation. It's not as hard as it seems once you break it down. Okay, or if you happen to have a T134 multi-view calculator sitting around, like I do, then you just click, okay, so you're going to put in your decimal, so like, I can't use this because it's not an actual T134 multi-view calculator, but if you have one of those, you're just going to put in your decimal point, then click that, do your exponent, equal, or put it in, and you're going to have but anyways, you probably don't have a T134 multi-view calculator, but if you do, good for you. Okay, so bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. No, never mind. I'm not gonna try to read that down below. And here's a duckling because I like ducklings, and there's pie. Anyways, so again, thank you for watching, and have an awesome day, everyone.